This Fleet Equipment Unscripted interview is presented by Hendrickson, a leading manufacturer of heavy-duty suspension systems and components to the global commercial transportation industry. Visit hendrickson-intl.com to learn more.
Hey everyone, Jason Morgan, Content Director for Fleet Equipment. Welcome to Fleet Equipment Unscripted. We are at TMC 2022. We are at the Volvo booth. We're going to stop in and get an update on the VNR Electric. They just announced the second generation. They've improved the range and a host of other things. So come along as we get an inside look. Okay, so you recently have the second generation, next generation of the VNR Electric, and you've improved the range and a bunch of other stuff. Can you walk me through that?
Yeah, absolutely. So, I will talk about the timeline, which has been really nice because we've gone essentially from moving with the pace of technology. So going from weeks and months to, going from weeks and months, not years and decades, okay?
Right.
So with the next generation, what we've done is we've increased the configurations. So that opens up the door to more applications. Before we only had 3, and now we have 5.
Okay.
So from our rigids, we have a 4x2 and a 6x4 rigid.
Okay.
And then for our tractors, we have the 4x2, 6x2, and 6x4.
Okay.
Now the 6x2 and the 6x4, what we've done is increase a battery pack option of up to 6 batteries. All right, so if you come walk with me here. So some of the biggest differences, now what I have behind me is the first generation VNR Electric.
Okay.
One of the major enhancements we did was the battery design. So you can't necessarily see it physically, but we've had a 40% increase in battery capacity. And more capacity means more range.
Right.
So with our top model, the 6x4 with the 6 battery pack, for example, we can achieve up to 275 miles, which again opens up the door to more creative routes, more demanding routes, things of that sort. Now, what you see is the 2 battery packs on each side of the chassis. So a 4 battery pack is here. For the 6 battery pack, just imagine 2 more battery packs right behind the cab.
Okay.
The other major enhancement that we've done from the first generation to the next is a BTMS, which is a battery thermal management system.
Right.
So imagine a black box, maybe about 1.5 feet tall, 2 feet wide. What that does is we've gone from passive cooling to active cooling, because anybody who's familiar with batteries knows that batteries hate high temperatures.
Right,
and in cold weather, performance is lagging.
Right.
So we have a dedicated BTMS that focuses on maintaining the ideal temperatures of those batteries so that we can achieve max performance.
Okay, very cool. So going back to it, what kind of applications does this open up with the 2 new configurations? Because I know it's really, there's a lot of regional haul right now, there's a lot of drayage. Right. Are we still in those applications?
Absolutely.
But 275, that's a really good increase over the first generation, because I mean,
an 85% increase.
Yeah, because conservative bets were at like 150, and you could get more than that depending on what your applications were. But do you see this opening up in the wider ranges of application or operations?
So we definitely want to still focus on our target segment, which is our local and regional distribution. But I mentioned it real briefly, is more range offers more stops. Again, it gets you a little bit more creative. You may not have to do opportunity charging anymore. Okay. So, and the demands. So potentially more highway conditions, because if our truck is on the highway at higher speeds, we'll chew up your battery a little bit more versus being in a 35 per mile road where you're braking and you're capturing the regenerative energy back into the storage system.
Right.
So.
Or even just peace of mind. I mean, range is something people just fret about. Maybe they don't need the range they think they do, but the bigger number feels better.
You ever heard the term of range anxiety?
Yeah.
I mean, that's a real thing.
Yeah.
And so when we perform, our truck performs up to that range, it helps reduce that. And then for our press release for this specific event is our EPG, our Electric Performance Generator, which is a software tool that our customers can map out what their ideal route will be. And it will let you know what the charge will be throughout that entire route. And it factors in terrain, traffic conditions, things of that sort.
Very cool. So going back to the battery pack, because this is still new to me, so I have to take it slow here.
Yeah, no problem.
So is the increased range a function of larger battery packs, or is this an example of some of the battery technology evolution that we're already hearing about?
Battery technology evolution.
Okay,
it's
very
better
cool.
design.
Okay, very cool. Very cool. Well, thank you so much for walking us through it.
Not a problem. My pleasure.